Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tiana and I document my infertility journey here on YouTube. Today I am just going to give a quick update. Well, hopefully it will be quick. Just an update on what's been going on between like my last video and now. It has actually been quite some time. So if you are interested, please keep watching. Okay, so we're just going to kind of jump right in because whatever. 2020, can I just tell you, 2020 can kiss my natural black. Like, it has been a freaking doozy. So, picking up kind of where we left off in my last video. Okay, quick recap actually. Okay, so I started my IVF cycle. You guys know the first time I tried, I ended up having a cyst or growing a follicle or something. It was canceled. The next month we tried, we got cleared to start shots. So I think I filmed days 1 through 3. On day 3, I went in for blood work and was told that my estrogen levels were at a 15. They needed to be between 100 and 200. But they told me to continue doing shots until Wednesday, so up to day 5. And hopefully my estrogen levels will have jumped. If they hadn't, I would be canceled. So I went in on Wednesday, I did blood work and ultrasound, and my levels were at 44. Which is not high enough. Obviously, I needed to be in like 600s or between 4 and 600 or something like that. And I was not. So my cycle was canceled. So that's the short and small, like cute little version. But behind the scenes of all that, all hell broke loose pretty much this cycle. And I guess you can tell by the title of this video, like it has been a nightmare. Like I can't even explain to you. So I will try my best. I'm in very high good spirits right now, which is not how I have been the last couple of weeks, but we got over that little hurdle. So a little bit more detail from my last IVF cycle. We started shots again, day 1 to day 3. Everything was fine. Shots were easy. I filmed them. They didn't hurt. Like Derek did all my shots. It was super fun, and exciting. But by day 3, I was starting to have a lot of cramps in my lower stomach. I assumed it was like trapped gas or something because I would get these sharp pains, and if I laid a certain way, like it would just hurt. So I thought maybe that's what it was. I kind of ignored it, but I would have to walk slower because I would get really sharp pains in my lower abdomen, which is unusual, but whatever. I just thought maybe it was a little side effect of the shots. By day 5, so when I went in on Wednesday for my blood work and ultrasound, I could hardly walk. My lower stomach hurt so bad that if I sat down, I would get cramps. I was just so uncomfortable. I hadn't been sleeping. I couldn't sleep on my side. I couldn't sleep on my back. So I had been just up in the middle of the night, just pacing the house because I could not get rid of this cramp. Or this cramping in my stomach. It was terrible. So on Wednesday, when I went in to do my blood work and my ultrasound tech, she went to town with Wanda because she couldn't find my left ovary. And it was the most painful ultrasound I have ever had in my entire life. I've never cried during an ultrasound ever. And I was bawling. Like this poor girl, I think she was mortified because she thought she was like killing me, which it felt like she was, and I just kept saying, I'm so sorry, but I was in tears. It hurt so bad. And when I talked to my doctor was out of town for like almost 2 weeks, so I was only able to talk to my nurse, and she was like, you shouldn't be in this much pain. I'm looking at your ovaries, nothing, the medicine didn't work, obviously, with my hormone levels being so low. She's like, the medicine didn't work. You only have 1 egg on your ovary, which is what you would have during a normal cycle. I don't understand why you're in so much pain. She's like, you really should probably see a primary care physician just to get checked out and see like why you're in pain, because you shouldn't be in pain based off of these 5 days of shots. So I did take her advice because I could barely walk. I don't think I went to work that day of my ultrasound, but I didn't make it back in Thursday or Friday after because I was just in so much pain. So I made an appointment with my primary care physician. It was a virtual appointment. I didn't get to go into the office, but I did get to talk to her enough. And she was a little worried that at this point, when I started my shots, so you start your shots like after your first day of your cycle, right? So I started my cycle on Friday. We started our shots on Saturday. At this point, I had been bleeding very, not like super heavy, but like heavier than my normal and clotting like crazy. And that is not normal for me at all. So I was a little bit worried about that, but not too much. But I did kind of feel like it was associated with my fibroids, even though my fibroids have never given me any problems previously other than the cramping, which I've told you guys about. I get really, really bad cramps during my cycles, at least the first couple days, but never really heavy bleeding or clotting. That's never been a symptom of mine. So during my appointment with my primary care physician, I just let her know like how uncomfortable I was and the pain and the bleeding and all of that. And she, because I wasn't in the office, she really wanted me to get a CAT scan so that she could see what was going on inside. As well as get my labs drawn and everything to make sure that I wasn't becoming anemic since I was bleeding a little bit more than normal. I did go ahead and get a CAT scan. What that revealed was that my fibroid, so I think I've talked to you guys before about my fibroids. I've had, when I first was diagnosed with fibroids, I had two. They were like a size 3 and a 1. Then I had it checked again. It was a 7 and a 5. Based on this CAT scan, I have 3. One is a 10.1 centimeter. The other is a 2, and I think the third is like a 1.7. So the other 2 are smaller, and then now I have one like giant fibroid in my uterus. So that's super fun. I think 10.1 centimeters is between the size of an orange and a grapefruit. So that is definitely probably what is giving me the blues. That's definitely what's giving me the blues. But because my primary care physician isn't very familiar with, all the lady parts stuff, she did highly recommend that I see an OB. So at that point with my CAT scan, I was diagnosed with like a degenerating fibroid. They were saying that one of my fibroids was likely shrinking, which was causing my cramping, my bleeding, and my clotting, and like just my pain and discomfort. That's what they kind of said based on the CAT scan, but my doctor also wanted me to get labs and possibly see an OB to get fully checked out. At this point, when I went to get my CAT scan, for whatever reason, the hospital's systems aren't fully integrated. They're like doing something new, and my lab order didn't go through. So by the weekend, my primary care physician, she's so sweet. She just kept calling me. This was the first time I've actually seen her. And she's like, I really want you to go to the ER. Like, you should probably go to the ER since you're still having pain, you're still bleeding. Like, I want to make sure you're not anemic since you didn't get your bloods during your CAT scan. I need you to go get your blood drawn and everything. So by the weekend, I did have my husband drop me off at the emergency room so that I could get some blood work done. So that was fun. I mean, I think I did a little room tour. So if you guys want to check out my room, I'll go ahead and insert a little clip right here. Because yeah, I was bored and Derek couldn't come with me, so why not? Hey guys, so I'm just sitting in my little room waiting to get my pain medication. I guess I can show you the room. It's very tiny. Let's see. It just has like my monitoring stuff, nurse's little station, a TV that I'm not watching, and then some chairs or whatever over here. But yeah, I'm just hanging out. It has been a rough week, to say the least. So I don't even know how to describe this week, but I'll sit down and I'll talk to you guys and do like a whole video of what's been going on. But it has been rough. I'm currently in the hospital just to get checked for like lower abdominal pain, because since I started my IVF cycle, like shit just went downhill. So once I have more information about what's going on, I guess I will get back on and film some more. But just wanted to hop on so I have just a little bit of all of this amazingness. Gotta love this journey, right? All right, bye. So after I got back from the ER, like they didn't really find anything different. They had access to my CAT scan since I did it all at the same hospital. They were like, here, I think they prescribed me some pain medication. I think I took one and it didn't really work. So I went back to Tylenol. Like I didn't even use that stuff. Like I needed some good stuff, and that wasn't it. Um, so those were the two appointments: CAT scan, then ER. Then my fertility specialist came back into town, and my nurse there updated him on how I was doing. So he gave me a call, and I had a phone appointment with him, and he first jumped on the call and was kind of like, I'm not too worried about your fibroids, and so we'll just forget about those. But I am curious as to why your body didn't react at all to the hormones, and I think for the next cycle we're gonna do XYZ, blah blah blah. And I had to stop him and say, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like you've been out of town. I understand that she told you I had a painful ultrasound, but I'm not doing another freaking cycle until we figure out why I was in so much pain. Like I did the shots and then I felt like I was dying. So I'm not just gonna jump into another cycle until we figure out what's going on. And he assured me, he just kept saying like, I really don't think like, fibroids don't grow very fast. They grow very slowly around, like normal people. But of course, with my luck, I'm not normal. So he's like, fibroids grow really slowly. I don't see like your shots or the hormones having any effect. Like, I don't know, what it could be, blah, blah, blah. But I let him know that I had an appointment with my OB in 2 days, like 2 days from my appointment with him. And he actually is friends with my OB. So he was very excited that I was going to her. He was like, tell her to call me because maybe we can, talk this out. Because my OB, she specializes in fibroids. That's like her thing. Like if someone's going to tell me like what's going on, she will be the one to tell me. So he said, whatever she says, like I absolutely trust her judgment. Just, let me know and we'll go from there. So that brings me to my OB appointment, which was definitely an interesting one. I did talk to my OB about just like everything that had been going on. And I told her, when I moved to Texas, which was just 3 years ago, that was the first time I was told I had fibroids. And they were small. Like I said, they were 3 and 1. And for 3 years later, to already be a 10, I'm like, is that slow growth? Is that rapid growth? Like in 2 years, am I going to be carrying a basketball? Like what is going on? And is this normal? And it's not, apparently. Apparently they should be growing much slower. But that is not the case in my case, of course. So she told me, she was like, I think we need to take it out. She's like, it needs to come out, especially since like when I sit down, I can feel it kind of move. It's so gross because it's dipping. I guess it's attached to the back of my uterus, but it's kind of dipping into my pelvis. So it causes me to waddle like a pregnant lady a little bit because I'm trying to accommodate in my hips, like what I'm feeling kind of down there, which is really awkward, but whatever, it is my life. So I was talking to her about it. She told me it needed to come out. And that she wanted to take it out in the next like couple weeks. I'm like, slow down, sister. Like I gotta work. I just started a new position. I got things to do. So that's kind of the plan now. So my next steps, I forgot to mention. So on my CAT scan, as I was talking to her, she did have my CAT scan report in front of her. It did say that I had 3 lesions on my liver, which I guess are small tumors. It said that they were really small. She told me she was not worried about them, but you know how doctors are. I'm not really worried about them, but I want to order you an MRI. So next steps for me is to get an MRI and get my surgery scheduled. I am actually getting my MRI today in a few hours. So I will keep you guys posted on the results from that. And then my surgery is scheduled for mid-September now. So I do have to get a myomectomy. I'm not able to get a, what is it called? Do the I can never say it right, laparoscopic or laparoscopy surgery where they do the holes. I know that has a much shorter recovery time. However, I guess because it's so big, that's not the way that she wants to go with the surgery. She does want to give me a C-section cut. So I will be out of work for about like 4 to 6 weeks. And then the heal time is, I think she said 2 to 4 months to be fully healed. So what that does to my IVF journey, I am not sure yet. I think that my fertility specialist said that even though it takes 2 to 4 months to fully heal my uterus, I can still do the first half up to egg retrieval. I just won't be able to do transfer until after the 4 months. So gone are the hopes of Baby Smith 2020, but I'm okay with that because I was in so much pain that honestly, I know I was crying in my last video and I probably cried the day after that, but the pain was just so like ridiculous that like I didn't even have time to think about that whole like cancellation, getting postponed for months. Like that hasn't hit me yet because I'm still in the get this fibroid out of me mode that I'll just deal with those emotions later. But that is my update. Things have been super weird around here. Like I just can't get it together. Every couple days, like I'm in pain. It's just the weirdest thing because I don't want to be hooked on like Tylenol. So when I take Tylenol, I feel fine because it's anti-inflammatory. I like it calms everything down there and I'm like good. But like I said, I don't like popping pills. So sometimes I try to go like a day or two without. And I just get so sore by the end of the day, especially with my new position at work. I'm like walking a lot more and just the pressure on my back is like ridiculous. Like I can't believe this thing is a 10.1 centimeter fibroid already. And I want to put off the surgery because who wants to have surgery? But then I also don't want to like ruin my uterus. So it's got to go. But yeah, if you guys have experienced anything like this, I would love to hear your stories. Like, I don't know why IVF affected my fibroids so much. I don't know if obviously it's not normal, but if that's ever happened to you guys or if you've heard of that happening to anyone, I would love to hear about that because my doctor was acting brand new. Like, there's no way. I'm like, but fibroids like grow off of hormones. Like that's how they like do their thing, right? So I don't know. He wasn't convinced, but all I know is I started taking those shots and then I was in pain. Like I didn't change anything else at all. That was the only new thing. So we shall see. I will keep you guys posted on like how this MRI goes, what the results are and all that jazz. Hopefully no news is like no news. I know I say this every time I go to a doctor's appointment, like the only thing I want to hear is like nothing's changed. I don't want any new news. So hopefully that is what will happen with this MRI and she's just being overly cautious and everything is great. So that's what we're praying for, guys. Keep me in your prayers and I will update you guys as soon as I have another update. I will talk to you later. Love you.